series. Front row of the grid, Whitham, Moody, McElnea, Hislop, Morrison, and away they charge then on this 14-lap battle. And Steve Hislop, number 11, chin on the tank, charges to the front. Behind him, Brian Morrison, number 5, on the green meanie, and the charge is on into the long, sweeping right-hander that leads them out onto the quickest section of the Snetterton circuit, and it's still Hislop with the lead, Pete.
Yeah, but Brian Morrison there on the brakes, absolutely weaving. But look at Witham's Yamaha. Yamaha is charging down the back straight. Morrison there, well, he might have found himself a little slow onto that back straight, and that didn't do him any good because the Yamaha was straight by. But look at this, McElnea's in there too.
Rob McElnea in about 5th place, because charging up on the inside was Jim Moody on the Brian Crichton Norton. So we've got a real mixture of motorcycles out in front, but Steve Hislop, the man who wants to shake off the tag of merely just being a quick man round the TT circuit, leads them all. And Whitham there in 2nd spot, I think. Let's just check that. Yeah, Whitham, who was in pole position, goes through on the inside. Whitham nips through as they go into the chicane, and Jamie Whitham, the man who is in pole position in practice, leads them as they come round to complete the first on 14 laps. But how quick is the Honda? And very quick is the answer, because Hislop falls out of the slipstream. He's on the inside line, and he goes through again to regain the lead. So Steve Hislop, the Scotsman who lives in the Isle of Man, lives at Onken, but he's desperate to shake off just the TT tab, and Whitham, Yamaha just twitching a bit there, Keith.
Yeah, I think a feature of Jamie Whitham's riding is he's all out, flat out, and absolutely, he was grabbing all the power to get that run onto the back straight. Just let the back wheel slide out from under him. But look at this, the Yamaha up the inside and Whitham on the brakes. He's one of the most exciting men there is, and Steve Hislop can do nothing but watch him slide up the inside. So Jamie Whitham, Hislop said when I spoke to him earlier that he was astounded about how much road that Whitham can use without getting into any trouble.
Jim Moody in 3rd place, Brian Morrison, the Scotsman, on the green meanie Kawasaki is there, the rest of the pack charging through, and the fall of John Barton. Well, big John Barton out of the race. He's gone well in practice, was hoping for some points here, but he's out.
Yeah, a red flag down at the line here. So, race stopped.
So after less than 2 laps with Whitham in the lead, the race was stopped, which would mean a complete restart. News of John Barton of Rochester, Kent, the fallen rider. Some bruising, but thankfully no serious injury and no damage to morale. Emphasising once again, as James Whitten had explained before the race, falls are part of the business.
It's a sport like any other, and you know, anything can go wrong. The bike can fail, I could fall off. I mean, you've got to be looking, you know, anybody who's trying hard and up the front, if you're not thinking that you're going to fall off maybe 2 or 3 times a year, you're not really trying hard enough. And at this sort of level, at these speeds, things happen.
Front row of the grid, Whitham, Moody, McElnea, Hislop, Morrison, 14 laps. Away they go, and a bad start this time for Whitham, who was in pole position, and it's number 11, Steve Hislop on the Honda, who hits the front by Morrison on the Kawasaki, also who is the quicker of the 2 Yamaha men on this first lap.
Certainly Jamie Whitham's not going to be happy with that, Chris. That was a diabolical start for him. He seemed to hesitate tremendously, and Hislop has absolutely grabbed every advantage he can. Moody moving down the inside there, but oh, dear me.
That was Matt Llewellyn on his Kawasaki, getting it a little bit out of shape there. Matt Llewellyn from Leicester, always a charger, 110% effort. And there is Brian Morrison second behind Hislop then. It's Rob McElnea, and I counted Jamie Whitham in about 8th or 9th place, but he's climbing all the time.
Well, he's got 13 laps to do it. This is just about the end of lap 1. Hislop looks a bit out of order there, and look at Whitham up the inside with the brakes all squirrely. Well, really.
So, it's Whitham on the charge, bike number 6, but look at this, the Kawasaki and Brian Morrison trying to get the better of the Honda, the Castrol Honda of Steve Hislop. So 2 Scotsmen out in front. Steve Hislop now lives at Onken in the Isle of Man. Brian Morrison from Kirkcaldy, and it's in fact another Scotsman, Jim Moody, on the Brian Crichton Norton, who's in 3rd place. So the Scots dominating this one, and here comes the Norton. We've seen them quick before at Snetterton, and there goes the Moody Express, a non-stop, didn't stop on any of the towns down that back straight, through into 2nd. Brian Morrison pushed back into 3rd place. Well, the Nortons, the JPS Nortons were quick 2 years ago. the Crichton Norton, fairly rapid there, Keith.
Fairly rapid indeed, but it was Steve Hislop, the man leading this race, that has said that the Norton has got quicker all year long, and here at Snetterton they expected it to be far, far too fast. Remember, Moody qualified in second place. Whitham was the only man that was quicker, so we'll wait to see. Look at Moody, really is trying very hard, so only a matter of time, Chris, I think, before Moody hits the front.
And, well, I don't know about that, because Whitham is now up into 4th place. There he is, number 6, the big number 6. So it's Hislop, number 11. Then it's Moody, and here comes Whitham, level with Brian Morrison. Will he go through to 3rd? He does. Doesn't give Morrison any chance at all, just dives through on the gap that Morrison left before he peels right at the end of the start and finish straight. So there he is, James Whitham. Doesn't like to be called Jamie anymore. He's a big man boy, a big boy now.
Well, I've been told that as well. So there goes the Norton. Look at the Norton now. Is he going to hit the front? He's going to do it on the brakes. Oh, Hislop can only watch, but he goes back for an inside line, cuts it tight. But no, it's Jim Moody then that grabs the lead at the S's. And now Hislop has just got Whitham to contend with right behind him. That's a bit of a worry.
It is indeed, but the Norton, as we saw, very, very quick, and the Honda is very quick, and they appear to be leaving Mr. Whitham behind. There's the gap. You saw just a glimpse then of the... You should get a bit of view here now. They're the leaders, and Whitham's gone. Well, Jamie Whitham, who leads the championship at the moment after 4 races, 74 points to 45. Teammate Rob McElnea, the man in 2nd place.
Steve Hislop had said that Whitham was able to use all the road, and that was frustrating the Honda rider Hislop, but I think Jamie used a bit more of it than he bargained for there.
So, well, can Whitham get back into the fray? The Norton out in front, and the work and effort of Brian Crichton, the man who was the original force and the dreamer to get the Nortons racing, has the satisfaction of seeing the bike out in front ahead of the very best that the Japanese can turn out, and that's great to see, I think, Keith.
It's great to see, but I have to say that Jim Moody is a man in form at the moment, and Jim Moody is a man that's trying to shake off the title of only being a good 600 and 400 rider, and he really is a great superbike rider, and he's just a fraction of a chance to get out there, and he's really, I mean, Jim Moody at the moment is dominating. The bike's quick, but Jim Moody is also very, very good.
Number 11, Steve Hislop in 2nd place. Number 2, Rob McElnea in 3rd spot, and Brian Morrison on the Kawasaki down in 4th place. And, well, Jamie
Whitham's got his hand up there, Chris, so I think that's it. He's decided that that's the end of it all now. The question is, will that bike have sucked in any damaging stones and the like, and maybe that's why he's pulling off? We'll have to wait and see, but they've got a bit of time to get that bike sorted out, but not a lot of time.
No, and Jamie Whitham, of course, I don't have to tell you, Keith, because you've raced at a very high level, but racing is all a matter of confidence, and having unloaded, his confidence will be tinted just a little bit. And there is the race leader.
Now, if anything, I think Moody's eased his pace very slightly, because Hislop just closed in very fractionally on that lap.
James, tell us what happened.
Made a bad start and trying to make up a bit of time, although I was just about with the leaders nicely. Just lost the front end going into the, I don't know what it's called, the end of the back straight. You go left, then flick right, a little right bit there, just lost the front end going in, and just slid away. I picked it up and continued, but apparently you can't, you're not allowed to do that. So.
I thought you were under international rules.
Yeah, so did I, that's why I went and picked it up, but apparently not now.
Right.
So
there's no damage to the bike?
Virtually none at all, just wants a fairing and a lever, and I think we're away again.
Bad luck indeed for Jamie Whitham, but the man who's benefited from his departure, this man, Jim Moody. So Jim Moody, man from Glasgow, tough old character, tough cookie, and has a glance over his shoulder, but he gets stopped for a cup of tea and a sandwich. And there he is, just carving his way past Ben Hines, putting him a lap down. There they are in the background. Now, I think McElnea is, well, not a second win, but he can see Hislop, and Hislop's 2nd place is far from safe.
Well, I think I'd be surprised if Rob Mack got on terms. We were a fair way into this race now, but Hislop probably is controlling that 2nd place. He'll know exactly where McElnea is behind him from his pit boards and the like, so McElnea would do very, very well indeed if he could catch hold of Hislop. But I think more significant is the fact that McElnea shook off from Brian Morrison with the Kawasaki, who certainly looked like he was making a bit of an effort on McElnea.
well. And there's a very dejected James Whitham, who can only lean on the fence and watch it all happen and see his lead, which was very comfortable, 19 points advantage, in fact more, let's get it right, 29 points advantage, has shrunk down considerably. 1 lap to go by my reckoning, so the race leader, Glaswegian Jim Moody, on the Crichton Norton out in front, and there he is, his only problem really just carving it, mixing it with the lesser mortals. Tim Lee from Coventry, number 38, about to get stuffed there as Moody continues his charge. The rundown at the moment: Moody, Hislop, McElnea, Morrison, Stringer is 5th, Robert Dunlop is 6th, Peter Graves is 7th, McElnea is 8th, Robert Holden is 9th, and Richard DeFargo, who lists himself as a property developer, is in 10th place, but I don't hold that against him.
So into the S's then, the chicane for the last time is Jim Moody, Chris, and a faultless ride from him as he heads up the straight to the start and finish line, and it's going to be a great win for the Crichton Norton.
So the Norton notches another win here at Snetterton. We've seen it before, but this time it's the Crichton Norton with Jim Moody on board. Moody the winner, Hislop second, Rob McElnea third.
So a good first win for Jim Moody. Valuable points for Steve Hislop and Rob McElnea, with Brian Morrison, Ray Stringer and Robert Dunlop all coming in behind Jim Moody, who set another new lap record, again topping the 100 miles an hour average.
I knew it was capable today. The bike's been going so well all weekend, you know, but been brilliant, you know, love it.
You had a free run at the front when you got there, but did you know that James Winner had fallen behind you?
I knew something had happened because when I got to the front I was expecting nipping my heels straight away, and when it never materialised I knew something had happened to him, you know.
Yeah, I enjoyed that, but I hadn't an answer for the Norton. It was so fast, I just couldn't believe it. Jim got away, settled in a rhythm. The race sort of stayed the same all the way through, but he was creeping away all the time. I made 1 or 2 small mistakes, but a good result. Pulled some points back now. So
yeah, certainly is much closer to the top now
yeah,
that James got out.
Yeah, that's good though. Good for the championship.